What's up, guys? I figured I'd make this video. It's going to be a little bit different, but I can tell you for a fact that Etsy sellers are starting to become furious with Etsy. I mean, they're growing really angry. The reason why I'm making this video is I wanted to talk about Etsy for a little while. I've made some videos on, how to get traffic on Etsy, how to do well with SEO. In fact, I have a whole corner on my website for people who want to learn how to use Etsy and make money online. If I could just show you guys here, if we go into an incognito tab, and it's completely for free, you go to autopilotpassiveincome.com, I have a section here called the Etsy Helper, right? And this Etsy Helper are videos on how I genuinely do Etsy SEO. I don't pay for ads, and I get traffic on my Etsy listings, and I get sales on these listings. The thing is, guys, is that there are a lot of things that are changing within Etsy. Mostly, the recent largest change, has infuriated people. It set people off the edge. And I figured I'd talk about this, and because hindsight is 2020, I mean, this is later, okay? Now, let me explain. When the update was made to charge people extra money, it's like 6.5% for customer support, and like a few other things. They said that they were charging people more for the sales, right? And they gave a list of reasons, like one of them was customer support, whatever. The very next day, I think the very next day, I made a video. And I made a video and I said, Etsy's updating, or Etsy's update, something like that. Majority of people were angry in the comments. I don't blame them, but they were angry at Etsy. They were furious. I didn't see a problem, but mind you, I was relatively newer to Etsy. And when I say newer, I hadn't been on the platform for 2 years, 5 years, 6 years. No, I was on the platform for a few months, so it's not like it was a big deal to me. Now, mind you, I'm doing very well on Etsy, and I was doing very well then too. It's not like it changed. But coming from an individual or individuals who've been selling on Etsy for a long time, it's completely a different way of looking. It seems like Etsy sellers have been going through it with Etsy. I mean, they went through, mountains and hills with this company. The reason why I say this, and the reason why I even mention this, is I want to call to your attention, guys, the companies that are kind of like profit first. I kind of want to say that is because if you look at Amazon is actually pretty similar. Like Amazon FBA, for example. I find Amazon FBA to be more money hungry than Etsy is. That's just my opinion. I'm not saying Etsy is better. I'm just saying they're both money hungry companies. And I'm telling you, from experience from having sold multiple products through Amazon FBA and still sell products through Amazon FBA. They're money hungry. I mean, the profits that they take is huge, and more importantly, from any company that causes frustration to the end users, whether it be the sellers or the customers, when you put your sellers last, it's going to cause frustration because the sellers are the ones that are creating the products. Now, these companies, their arguments, internal arguments, is that, hey, there's always going to be people that want to make money online, and they're going to come to our website to do that. So even if you, a seller that makes money currently, and you're frustrated with us and you want to leave, go ahead and leave. There's always going to be somebody to replace you. That's kind of their ideal mentality. Now, we can make the argument that, over time, these companies are going to be, out of business because they're not treating their sellers right. They're not treating their sellers with respect. The truth is that this is probably not going to happen because they're right. They're right that there's always going to be customers. There's always going to be people that replace the other sellers. When one seller leaves, you're going to have 10 to replace them. And that's kind of true. But it doesn't make it right. It doesn't make it something that's kind or nice or anything like that. There was a lot of frustration even with PayPal as an example of a company because they shut people's accounts down without any kind of notice, without anything. And they don't give the users, and really for no reason, they don't give the users a way to kind of appeal the decision or anything like that. PayPal just simply says, hey, we're not going to do business with you anymore. So if you're a seller on PayPal, they have the right to just say, look, we're not going to work with you anymore. You can't transact with us. Go find another company to make money. And you could be, relying on PayPal. Another example are people who have money stored in PayPal. This happens all the time. They have money stored in PayPal, and PayPal says, look, something's not right here. I remember in the Shopify era, when Shopify started to get famous, when dropshipping started to get famous, a lot of people were using PayPal because it was almost like a safe way of transacting. The only problem is that a lot of people who were overseas were using PayPal. PayPal started to put order of actions of freezing on the accounts for 90 days, 6 months, until they figure out where this money is coming from. Because when you are making money from dropshipping the way it's advertised, when you're running ads and things like that, it's not uncommon to make $5,000-$6,000 in sales per day. It's really not uncommon. It's not something that's unheard of. But as long as you reach that $5,000 threshold, not per day, I'm talking just period, you're going to start raising some red flags within PayPal's eyes. I had to deal with this multiple times. That's why I don't transact with PayPal anymore. I don't deal with PayPal anymore on that basis. The only way I'll deal with PayPal is to receive income from a platform that I'm using, like TeePublic or something like that. Other than that, I'm not going to deal with PayPal. I'm not going to sell a product through PayPal because I look at them like they're a risk of a company. And I don't deal with them. But the reality is they make so much money that they can be replaced. I figured I'd read some of these comments, because it's just interesting to me. On this video, somebody says, I gave up on Etsy 7 years ago. Always happy to help message sellers and offer them to take my money other ways and sell me more goodies without Etsy's involvement. That's interesting. So this person gave up on Etsy 7 years ago, and he messages sellers so that he can give them more money without using Etsy as the platform. Here it says roughly 10% in seller fees plus 15% more if it was through ads. Yeah, we lose over 30%. So I actually agree on this. If you guys don't know, when you sell a product on Etsy, they charge you based on where that order came from. So let's say it came through an ad. You're going to have to pay more for that. You're going to have to pay significantly more for that. Now, unfortunately, sometimes some sellers don't price their products correctly and they end up losing money. Believe it or not, they end up losing money after the new seller fees on Etsy, plus the taxes that they have to pay, plus the free shipping, plus, and free shipping is not a requirement, but plus the free shipping, and also plus the ad fees. Because nothing is free on the platform, guys. Believe it or not, nothing is free, and it all comes back to you at the end of the day. And, everything that we're seeing here, guys, is the culmination, is the cost of not having your own website. And this is the truth. The reality is that there's a lot of people who argue about Redbubble, PayPal, Etsy. There's always going to be complaints. There's always going to be complaints about every business. It's going to get to a point where you're either going to have to just deal with it and take the abuse, or you're going to have to create your own platform. Now, the way I look at it, and maybe the reason why I don't feel it as much, is because I don't rely on print on demand, on Etsy, on Amazon FBA, on any of this stuff to be my income. I don't rely on it whatsoever. What I rely on my income is the blog websites that I've created. I've spoken about this before, but my main source of my income comes from different blogs, different websites that I have created, whether it be affiliate sites, whether it be, ad sites like AdSense sites, Google Ads type of sites where people, click on an article that I've written. They read the article, maybe they see ads on there, I make money from the ads, or an affiliate deal. Like, for example, I work with a treadmill company. I have a blog all on treadmills, and we talk about a treadmill company, and you get 10% commission per sale. That's an example of one. I have another one that's a supplement review site, things like that. So different blogs, right? And if you guys want to, hear about blogging and all that, I've made videos in the past. But the point is that's how I bring in my income. So for me, the way I look at print on demand, the way I look at all these things is that it's a fun pastime that makes me some income. It's not something I rely on. I'm assuming that the individuals who get here on print on demand and do not even just print on demand, but just do Etsy in general, you got to think of the market that Etsy does. It's more of like a handcrafted or at least that's what it was advertised to be, kind of platform. It's like this, handmade kind of platform. You could see here, like, people are just really angry with Etsy. It says here, improve seller support, and she puts it in quotes. That would mean that there is existing seller support. That's rich. You can't improve on something that doesn't exist. These are people saying that seller support doesn't exist on Etsy. They're frustrated with it. All I can tell you guys is this, is that at the end of the day, we'll gain freedom, guys, as people, from these platforms when we decide to sell on our own website. I can't tell you guys, when I first started selling on FBA, I thought, and this is during the time of the clothing company, guys. This is the very first business I've ever had. My idea was that because there's so many customers, and this is years ago on Amazon, right? Because this is back when their stock price was like less than $300. I mean, this was different, right? So, and I said, because there's so many customers on Amazon, they're going to buy my products no matter what, and guys, I was naive. This is my first business. I don't know anything about business, right? I'm jumping into business for the first time. So I order the products overseas. I get the products to my house. Half of them are damaged. I inspect them. I get them, I do the label, I put the labels on the products for the first time. I box them up. I ship them to the warehouse for the first time. I pay for all that, and guess what? 0 sales. Until I started figuring out how to do a little bit of like ads and things like that, I started making sales, but I was still breaking even. At that point, I had to have a real discussion with myself. I said, this Amazon thing is not going to work out. What is the next solution? And so what I did is that's where I created the website. But the website, guys, took me 6 months to create. And finally, at the end of that 6th month, I got my very first sale on Amazon. On my website, right? I was going to say Etsy. On my website. Now, when I got that very first sale, guys, the amount of profit that I made from that first sale was more profit than all the money I had made on Amazon before that combined. The reason why I say that is because it was pure profit. I mean, the way I looked at it was, okay, I bought this hoodie for $16. I'm going to sell it for $59 on my website. Trust me, guys, $59 is steep for a hoodie. And trust me, I was cheap. I'm still cheap. I wouldn't pay $59 for a hoodie unless it was like, I don't even know. I don't know if I ever did pay $59 for a hoodie, but that's not the point. The point is that I would sell these hoodies, would sell other kinds of clothing. That wasn't the only thing, but I would sell the clothing, and that was profit for me from my website. And then I learned how to do marketing because I learned that, traffic is important to build to a website. The point is that if you don't go on that journey, of learning how to create your own, it's like your own domain, your own website, your own place where customers can come to you. And if you don't learn how to market it, how to drive traffic to it, how to improve your conversion rate to it, you're going to be at the mercy of these platforms. And guys, it's not, newsflash, it's not going to get any better. And this is the unfortunate thing, is that it's not going to get better. This is a scary thought for individuals who rely on this kind of stuff. If you rely on Redbubble, if you rely on TeePublic, if you rely on Merch by Amazon, if you rely on any of these platforms, that's, no offense, that's a scary thought. And the reason why I say that is because you have zero control off the platform. And that is the truth. If they want to charge you 50% more, they could do that. I remember a time on Merch by Amazon when I first started, the margins were actually pretty good. And then they made an update. They made a change. And then the margins were smaller. And then they made another change. The margins were even smaller. It's just a matter of time until, and honestly, guys, the reality is that they know, people are very, put it this way, people are very controllable with money. Because if let's say, for example, you come to work every day, okay? And I pay you your salary. If I pay you your salary, right? If I'm not a good person, I can control the shape of your life. I can say, nope, I need you to stay overtime, and I'm not going to pay you. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. It could be complete abuse. It could be, and unfortunately, there's a lot of people in the workspace that are dealing with this kind of abuse. Their bosses are asking, no offense, too much of them, asking stuff that's not required in terms of the requirement list when they first applied for the job. You hear all the time, a job list that says need to do X, Y, Z. And then next thing you know, when you get the job, the bosses are saying, I want you to do this and that. never was on the requirement list. But you can't say anything. You got to keep your mouth shut because you want to get that salary. It goes the same way for Etsy. It goes the same way for all these other platforms. And don't get me wrong, I'm a fan of any website, any business that gives other people the opportunity to make money online. But when it gets to a point where you're just strangling your people, you're choking them out, they have no room to breathe, then you're hurting yourself as a platform at the end of the day. I think if Etsy had a tremendous reputation for treating their sellers well, it would be different. Honestly, I think it would be different. But the truth is majority of these platforms is not the case. They treat the customer well. They do not treat the seller well. We can make the same argument with eBay. We can make the same argument with Etsy. We can make the same argument for Amazon FBA. We can make the same argument, guys, for literally every single platform on earth. Every platform. The truth is that you're going to be treated well when you deserve to be treated well, and the only way you're going to be deserving to be treated well is if you own your own website. You think these guys are going to treat you well if you work on their platform? Absolutely not. Like I said this before, but on Redbubble, your store can vanish in a millisecond. Nobody's going to bat an eye. Nobody's going to say, hey, where did Tommy's store go? Where did Jane's store go? Where did Jesse's store go? Nobody's going to say that. Nobody cares. The reality is these employees, it's like they're reading off a teleprompter. They're going to say, your store was banned for XYZ reason. It is what it is. Nobody can help you. And the reality is that it's almost robotic. It's almost like they're not on our side anymore. We're not human beings. They don't understand what normal human beings go through. I'm telling you that the way out is getting your own website, starting your own website. Now, the only way this video would do itself justice is if I end up following up this video with multiple videos in the future on how to start the website, how to drive traffic to the website, how to do the SEO, how to build the e-commerce space, how to start a blog, how to do all these things to get going. We're going to do that. There's no question. How long is it going to take? I'm not sure yet. But if you guys are in on this idea, let me know in the comments down below. If this is something that you've been wanting to do for a while, let me know in the comments down below. Starting your own website, starting your own platform. If you want to take back control of your destiny, your future, and more importantly, your freedom, let me know. And don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not hating on these websites. I'm not hating on these companies. At the end of the day, they're providing us with some level of income. Are we being mistreated for it? Maybe. Are we being abused for it? Maybe. Are we being, put in a bad position sometimes? Absolutely. However, they're still providing some sort of blessing. There's no question that life would be better with your own website. There's no question about that. Now, would I say, let's just say you had your own website and you had these other platforms, do I tell you or do I recommend that you delete those other platforms? Absolutely not. I always say never get rid of a flow that's working, an income flow. Never get rid of one. If it's working, why remove it? Just let it do its thing. That's kind of my approach. But like I said, guys, I do plan on making videos about that in the future. And this is not something that we're going to just glance over. This would have to be a very long series. It would probably take months to complete. It would probably be video after video of, just like we did with the Redbubble stuff. I don't think there has been a topic that I haven't talked about on Redbubble. I could be wrong, but I don't think there has been a topic. I mean, we talked about titling, tagging, designing, we've literally talked about it all. We've published literally, and I'm not exaggerating, over, my opinion, 150 videos on Redbubble. I'm sure we have. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, but the way I look at it is if we upload twice a day, right, and we've been doing it for over a few months now, I mean, that's like 140, 150 video? I don't know. But the point is that you guys know me. When we talk about a certain topic, we decimate the topic. We go after it like animals. And the truth is that, the one thing that bad human beings try to do to other people is oppress. And the one things that good human beings try to get is freedom. And I think it's a time for a change. I think eventually, this year, 2022, will be the time of freedom for a lot of people. because they're going to take destiny into their own hands. We're going to come out with the series. I don't know if it's going to be now. I don't know if it's going to be in a week or a month, but it's eventually going to happen. I promise you that, guys. That's something I promise. Now, for the other series that I promised about the YouTube automation, the YouTube cash flow channels, I promise you, it's not like that series disappeared. I've been going through some roadblocks, and I've been learning some things. So it's not like, I've abandoned that. Like, we're still working on that behind the scenes, looking for softwares that could actually serve me well. And, when I find the softwares, I talk to you guys about them. I say, I'm using XYZ software to do this and do that. It's the cheapest one, etc. And I usually go with the cheapest stuff anyway, as long as it's decently well, right? So that's kind of my opinion. All right. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.